Welcome back, Agilists. I'm Arturo. Today we're going to talk about a classic approach to project management, the Waterfall methodology, promoted by the Project Management Institute, PMI. Although we often associate agility with flexibility, it's important to understand that traditional approaches like Waterfall also have their place and advantages, especially when projects require structure and control. In this chapter, to talk about this topic, I have invited Lina, our expert in project management. Go ahead, Lina, tell us a little about the Waterfall methodology.
Hi, Arturo. It is a pleasure to be able to collaborate with you. Let's get started. Imagine that you are building a bridge. Each phase of the project needs to be completed before moving on to the next. First you design, then you build the structure, then you lay the pavement, and finally you do the testing. This sequential and structured approach is what defines the Waterfall methodology. The Waterfall methodology is a traditional approach to project management that follows a linear, sequential process. It is divided into clearly defined phases that must be completed in order before moving on to the next. These phases are typically initiation, defining the project's objectives, requirements, and scope. Planning, creating a detailed plan that includes schedules, budgets, and resource allocation. Execution, carrying out the work according to the established plan. Monitoring and controlling, monitoring progress and making adjustments if necessary. Closing, finalizing the project, delivering the product, and documenting lessons learned. It is important to mention that in the last two versions of the PM book, the PMI recognizes that not all projects are suitable for a completely sequential approach. Now, a hybrid perspective is promoted that combines elements of traditional and agile methodologies. This allows teams to quickly adapt to changes in requirements, incorporate iterative cycles into previously structured projects, prioritize functional deliverables instead of waiting until the end of the project. For example, in a project that mostly follows the Waterfall methodology, Agile sprints could be included to develop and test specific modules before integrating the entire system. This increases the team's ability to identify and resolve problems early. Advantages of the Waterfall approach. Clarity of objectives. Each phase is well documented, providing a clear view of what needs to be achieved. Structured control. It is ideal for projects with well-defined requirements that do not change frequently. Predictability. By having a detailed plan from the beginning, it is easier to estimate times and costs. Controlled risk. Phases must be completed and reviewed before moving forward, reducing the likelihood of errors in later stages. Challenges of Waterfall methodology. Rigidity. Once initiated, changes are complicated and costly. Lack of adaptability, not ideal for projects where requirements may evolve during development. Late results, customers do not see the product until it is fully completed, which can lead to dissatisfaction if it does not meet their expectations. When to use Waterfall methodology. The Waterfall approach is useful for projects such as where requirements are well defined and unlikely to change, e.g., construction or manufacturing, which have a high degree of technical complexity and need detailed planning, where documentation and regulatory compliance are essential. An example might be the development of an ERP system for a large organization. In this case, requirements are carefully defined from the start and each stage is reviewed before moving forward. However, with PM book updates, a hybrid approach might also be included to iterate on key functionalities during development. The Waterfall methodology is like a train, it follows a fixed path with defined stations. Recent updates to the PM book remind us that while this structure remains valid for many projects, we can also adapt it to include agile elements that increase flexibility and value delivery.
Thank you very much, Lina. In the next chapter, we will discuss about Agile transformation. See you.